What's going on, YouTube? Thomas L here with Mary Poppins Returns opening Wednesday. Since the film stars the talented actress Emily Blunt, I decided to do a top 10 list of my 10 favorite Emily Blunt movies because I think she's a dynamite of an actress. She's been in some pretty good stuff, some not so good stuff either, but I'll probably talk about that later on. So, with that being said, here's my 10 favorite Emily Blunt movies. Coming in at number 10, 12 film she did with Jason Segel. Almost said Sudeikis, anyway. She did this movie with Jason Segel called A 5-Year Engagement, which was directed by, Neighbors director Nicholas Stoller. This movie is really underrated. I found this to be pretty cute, charming. I really like the chemistry between both Segel and Blunt. In the film, Jason Segel and Emily Blunt, plays, an engaged couple who's, trying to make their, who's pretty much trying to sell for set their big day, and their families are coming together, and it's really good. I mean, it's really, you know, it's pretty cute. It's charming. Segel and Blunt, they both were pretty good. At working together. It was also produced by Judd Apatow, and the supporting players was pretty good too. You had the likes of Alison Brie, Chris Pratt, Reese Ifans. It had some good supporting players. But the chemistry between both Segel and Blunt worked out really well. Oh, and Kevin Hart's also in this too. I keep forgetting that Kevin Hart is in this movie. But if you guys haven't seen the 5-Year Engagement by now, check it out. It's real. I think you'll probably enjoy it. Coming in at number 9 is the film The Adjustment Bureau. Now, this is a film that Emily Blunt starred with Matt Damon. And it was directed by George Nolfi, who recently directed that not so good Bruce Lee biopic. And it's based on a book by Blade Runner author Philip K. Dick, and it also starred the likes of Anthony Mackie, John Salery. This movie was released in 2011, and it's really underrated. In the film, Matt Damon plays a politician named David Norris, who meets a ballerina played by Emily Blunt, and he's smitten by her, and and they're conspire, and there's some mysterious man who conspires to keep him away from Blunt's character, and I don't really want to talk much about because I don't know how many people haven't seen it, and this film is actually really easy to spoil, so that's what I'm just gonna say there. But I really like the chemistry between both Matt Damon and Emily Blunt. They work together pretty well in this. This movie was it was a really good the thriller was really good pacing. The movie's set in New York City, so gotta love a New York City set thriller. Yeah, more people should check this one out. It's not a great movie or anything like that, but it's actually not all that bad. If you guys still haven't had a chance to check out The Adjustment Bureau yet, check it out. I think you'll probably, get a kick out of it. Coming in at number 8 is the film Sunshine Cleaning. Now, this is a film that starred Emily Blunt with Amy Adams and Alan Arkin. Yeah, Arkin. I almost said Alan Arkin. Now, this movie was a really nice little indie film. I mean, in it, Amy Adams and Emily Blunt both play sisters who, who pretty much still lives at home with their father, played by Alan Arkin, and they, party all the time. And, they pretty much have to clean everything out so they could, pretty much move out and all. This is a really good little indie film. I really like the chemistry between both Amy Adams and Emily Blunt. They need to do more films together. I really like their chemistry in Sunshine Cleaning. Alan Arkin was, of course, good in this. If you guys haven't had a chance to check out Sunshine Cleaning yet, give it a go. I think you'll probably enjoy it. Coming in at number 7 is actually one of Emily Blunt's most earliest films, and that would be a film called My Summer of Love. My Summer of Love is a really good little film. I mean, in it, Emily Blunt plays a teenager who, falls with another female, and it's directed by Powell Polowitzki, who also has that new movie, Cold War. That I think it's Cold War or something. That's heading out to theirs this week. And this is pretty much one of Emily Blunt's earliest roles. Yeah, Emily Blunt had pretty good chemistry with her on-screen co-star played by Natalie Press. You also had Paddy Considine. He was pretty good in this. If you guys really want to check out, one of Blunt's earliest roles, check out My Summer of Love. It's really, cute. It's charming. Good performances by Blunt as well as Natalie Press. Check this one out because I think it's another Emily Blunt movie worth checking out. Coming in at number 6 will be Into the Woods. Now, Emily Blunt could sing, and she really showed her singing talent off in Into the Woods. Now, Into the Woods, is based on the play by Stephen Sondheim. And it had a really cool cast. I mean, we're talking Meryl Streep, Johnny Depp, James Corden, who actually plays Blunt's husband in this. You also had Anna Kendrick. Who else was in this? Oh, yeah. I think Chris Pine was in this too, if I'm not mistaken. Into the Woods had some really good music. The visual effects was stunning. I also like the chemistry between both Corden and Blunt. They worked pretty well together. And this is, of course, directed by Rob Marshall, who has Mary Poppins Returns out this week, which also has Emily Blunt in it. So pretty much Mary Poppins Returns is kind of a reunion between both Marshall and Blunt. I'm looking forward for Mary Poppins Returns, by the way. But anyway, if you guys haven't checked out Into the Woods yet, it's a really good musical film. Coming in at number 5 is Edge of Tomorrow. Now, in this, Emily Blunt stars with Tom Cruise, and this was directed by Doug Liman. Now, this is the film where Tom Cruise, is like a soldier, and it's pretty much like a sci-fi Groundhog Day where he dies over and over, and this is probably one of the biggest surprises in years. I mean, I remember when I first saw the trailer, I thought this movie was going to be terrible. The marketing looked horrible. But I went into this film actually, really enjoying it. Blunt was Emily Blunt is a really good action star, and she really, Emily Blunt, really showcased her action scenes in this. She was awesome in Edge of Tomorrow. Or, and it also has a few other names, like you could either call it Live, Die, Repeat, at Edge of Tomorrow. They really have no idea what they wanted to call this thing. Sadly, it didn't do so well, but I know Emily Blunt and company has been talking about doing a sequel recent, but God knows if that will ever happen because Edge of Tomorrow did not do all that great in the box office. So hopefully I'm wrong and they'll go ahead and make that sequel, but we'll see what happens there. Anyway, coming in at number 4 is Looper. Now, Emily Blunt was awesome in this. This film was directed by Rian Johnson, who, of course, directed Star Wars: The Last Jedi. You even had, Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Bruce Willis. I mean, they pretty much Bruce Willis and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I guess you could say played clones in this. Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays like a younger Bruce Willis. It's pretty much, I guess you could say it's like a time travel film. It's a really good sci-fi. Emily Blunt in this was just awesome. Like I said with Edge of Tomorrow, in Looper, she also showed her action, her action power. And Emily Blunt, she was a dynamite in Looper. You even had Paul Dano. He was pretty good here. Looper is definitely one of the most original sci-fi movies you'll ever want to see. I mean, if you always complain of Hollywood not doing original stuff anymore, Looper's definitely pretty original. This movie is not based on a comic. It's not based on any source material. It's an original material. And it's actually really good. For every reason, if you've never seen Looper by now, check it out. It's a really good film. Coming in at number 3 is The Devil Wears Prada. Now, in this, I guess you could say Emily Blunt plays like a villainy type role here. You also had Meryl Streep, who's also in Mary Poppins Returns. And Hathaway was in this. Devil Wears Prada is a really good little film. It's pretty much in the world of fashion. And Meryl Streep, pretty much plays like the big baddie. I mean, everyone always talks about Anne Hathaway and Meryl Streep in this movie, but I barely hear people talk about how good Emily Blunt is in this. I mean, Emily Blunt in this was really good. Of course, Streep and Hathaway was good too, but yeah, I mean, if you guys still never seen Devil Wears Prada by now, check it out. I mean, you don't even have to be a fashion expert to really enjoy the film. It's actually that good of a movie. Coming in at number 2 is Sicario. Now, we recently had the sequel, which was Day of Soldado. That movie was horrible. I was completely disappointed by it. And I think one of the things that really hurt that film was not having Emily Blunt back. Emily Blunt in the first Sicario, I thought was amazing. It was, of course, directed by Denis Villeneuve, who also did not return for the sequel, which I kind of think he should have returned, but Emily Blunt, was really good here. Of course, you had good performances by Benicio del Toro, Josh Brolin. Who else? Oh yeah, Daniel Kaluuya, from Get Out fame. I really like Sicario. It was a pleasant surprise. I mean, to be honest, I thought Sicario was going to be straight up boring and terrible. But I went in actually enjoying it. And one of the best parts of the movie is the performances that Blunt gives, as well as Del Toro. I think there could have also been an argument to be made that Emily Blunt could have gotten an Oscar nomination for her performance. For a performance in Sicario. Oh, of course, she got a Critics' Choice Award nomination, but I still think she should have gotten like an Oscar nomination. She was that good in this movie. But anyway, coming in at number 1 for my favorite Emily Blunt movie, it's a recent one, and that will be A Quiet Place. This movie was amazing. It was directed by her husband, John Krasinski. The 2 kids in this was really good. Whoever knew a movie where you barely talked throughout the whole film could work well? If this movie was completely silent with just no talking, like there's talking in the movie, but if this movie was like just straight up silent, it literally could have been a Charles, like a horror film, that could have been directed by Charlie Chaplin. Like it literally had like Charlie Chaplin meets Alfred Hitchcock in a way. I know that probably don't make much sense, but that's the vibe I got from A Quiet Place. It's a Charlie Chaplin movie meets an Alfred Hitchcock film. Okay, that's kind of probably don't make much sense, but yeah. But anyway, Emily Blunt, she definitely gave one of the best performances I've seen this year. That scene with the nail. I mean, if you guys seen Quiet Place, you know what scene I'm talking about. That you'll probably close your eyes for that scene. This movie was of course really creepy. John Krasinski did a really good job at directing. Him and Emily Blunt, those two are a dynamic duo. Of course, they're married in real life, so of course they're going to have good chemistry. And Emily Blunt just scored a Screen Actor Guild nomination for her performance in this. Well deserved. She was that good in A Quiet Place. Although she got a nomination for Best Supporting. I feel like she had more of a lead than a supporting, but anyway, yeah, A Quiet Place is a really good film. For every reason, if you still haven't seen A Quiet Place by now, I highly recommend it. It's really good, and I'm actually looking forward to check out the sequel when it gets made. But yeah, that's pretty much it for my 10 favorite Emily Blunt movies. Let me do the quick rundown. Number 10, The 5-Year Engagement. 9, The Adjustment Bureau. 8, Sunshine Cleaning. 7, My Summer of Love. 6, Into the Woods. 5, Edge of Tomorrow. 4, Looper. 3, Devil Wears Prada. 2, Sicario. 1, A Quiet Place. Now, Emily Blunt has been in loads of other stuff over the years. Well, definitely not Girl on the Train. She was also in Huntsman Winter's War. Oh boy, that was not a good movie. Let's see. Cannot wait for Jungle Cruise, by the way. That actually sounds cool. Young Victoria was pretty good. Charlie Wilson's War she was in with Julia Roberts. Salmon fishing in the Yeoman with Ewan McGregor's. Not all that bad. She was in Gulliver's Travel, which I kind of like. Dan in Real Life with Steve Carell she was in. She was in My Little Pony. She had a part in The Muppets, which also had Amy Adams in it. She was in Sherlock Gnomes. No, thank you. Sherlock Gnomes was, oh gosh. Yeah, she's been in some pretty interesting stuff over the years. Let me leave it to you guys. What are your favorite Emily Blunt movies? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is Tom Sells signing off.